Back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive, and joining us in the studio now is the man running the Hartford Marathon, in charge of it, Josh Miller. Running and running it. So Josh Miller joins us in studio here as we're going to talk about the Hartford Marathon coming up. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And let's just start with your marathon career. When did you start running marathons? Because you look like you've been doing it your whole life.
I haven't run a marathon in quite some time, but I do run for fitness. I've been with the organization since 2010, and this will be the 31st running of the Eversource Hartford Marathon.
Were you a cross-country guy growing up?
I was,
There you go.
Manchester High School cross-country, track and field. Did a little bit of running at UConn, and then doing this ever since.
The Hartford Marathon Foundation, not just the Hartford Marathon. I see you guys at every single event, top of the line. It's the way that runs should be done. It's so cut and paste with everything that you do. I usually do the Travelers Championship one. We'll be talking here today about Donnie's Dash, Donnie Marshall. We'll be doing that in Simsbury. Also, the one in Manchester that I'm so fond of now that I did it last year, and I totally got schooled on what this was all about. The Manchester Thanksgiving Road Race, which is my fave of all time. But the Hartford Marathon in particular is kind of the belle of the ball, what everything rotates around. Huge part of this community. So many people come through. How many runners do we have this year? And what was the beginnings of the Hartford Marathon, and how many runners did that start with?
It's a great question. This year we have just over 9,000 total runners.
Goodness!
Yeah, it's pretty great across all events. Big growth over the last couple years. People in the marathon, there's a half marathon, there's a 5K, there's a team relay, there's a kids race. So just a great community event. If you haven't been out to it, we encourage people to come out to it. You can volunteer. Over 1,500 volunteers support the event. So we do not do this alone. We rely on volunteers across the board. Charities involved, lots of money raised for charity each year. So, just a great event. We're 9 days out, so we're kind of in the last minute stages here of planning and getting ready to execute.
The 25th mile is where we are right now with the Hartford Marathon.
You bet. We're at the 25th mile.
Registration's already closed, though. You guys hit your mark, 9,000 runners?
No, we're wide open.
Oh,
we're still open. Yeah, so the marathon distance is sold out.
Right. The 26.2 mile marathon is closed.
That is correct, but we are open. We're open across the board.
That's what I was going to say. I was just going to register to jump in there.
I'll get you in if you want, but everything else is open. 10 days out, you could still come out and run or walk a 5K and be a part of it.
Everybody that I see at these events, whenever someone new, because it's a family, it's a community of people, and I start seeing the same people when I go to these runs. And one lady said at the UConn Health Run out at Simsbury, where the Donnie Dash will be, I remember this lady, it wasn't me, it was another newcomer that was like, I didn't know all this existed and all the food and all everything, and everybody's so family. And the lady said, welcome to the circus. These people are a little bit nutty. I mean, to run 26.2, Josh, dude, you're crazy. To ask Dibbs and I to do that is go to hell. You're insane. Talk about the runner and just the mentality of the runner and these kind of people, these 9,000 strong that are coming to Hartford. What kind of people are they?
Well, they're all types of walks of people, certainly. There is the nuts. We were talking before. We're going to talk some more maybe about the winners of the race, Alex Nordstrom and some of those guys.
This dude's crazy.
But there's people all walks of life. We actually highlight some of them, which you can see on our website, see them on race day. We have an inspiration team of folks that they participate that have overcome some sort of health disparity, or they've lost their sight. Now they're running the race with visually impaired. So there's people of all types of walks, but I tell you, you need to commit, you need to train, just like any other sport. You want to run a marathon, you're committing 6 months out or a year out to this challenge, to this goal. Hopefully it's not just a bucket list item, and it's part of your journey moving forward, that you're now a runner, you're a marathon finisher.
No, my good friend and my wife's best friend in college, UConn grad Nicole Barucci. I mean, you're running 10 miles a day. She bikes in the Pan Mass Challenge for the cancer money and raising money for cancer awareness.
And she's a nut.
And she is a nut. And she's also a scientist. I mean, she's trying to find a cure for diabetes as we speak. But that being said, I mean, this is dedication, man. This is sacrifice. I mean, as a former professional athlete, that I did it for 13 years, I hated the running part. You have to run. I mean, but I couldn't have been a major leaguer. Yeah. But these people do it for fun.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's not like you have to get paid to do this. They want to get up. They get up at the crack of dawn. They're running, and it's cold, and that's another thing. Sometimes you're running. I know when I lived in L.A., I met a lady that did the ultra marathon, the 100-mile marathons, and through the desert and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I think it's more of like a challenge. These are the type of people that, if they couldn't run, they'd probably want to climb Mount Everest or do something like that. Not that it's always about the danger. I think it's about the finish.
Personal.
They talk about the personal goals, like you said, the Boston Marathon and the bombing. There's so many people that have come back with whether missing a limb or whatnot. I think this is all about the setting a goal, having goals, and then finishing. I think is amazing.
You're 100% correct. And for so many people too, it's not just about themselves. It's about other people. Folks from the Boston Marathon bombing or any other charity where people, if you have that ability and that privilege to set that goal and do it, not everybody has that opportunity. So if you could do it for somebody else, whether raising funds for that organization or just doing it for them in some sort of way, a lot of people do that as well.
All right, tell us the course. This is always a topic of conversation for our show. 2 reasons. One, main reason for people to be spectators and to find the best possible spots. 2, the people who aren't spectators and are trying to get around the city, but the Hartford Marathon's going to town.
They want to stay the hell away from it.
Tell us the course and what's the best plan of action for these people.
Yeah, so if you don't want to be a part of that day for some reason, stay on the highway, stay on 84, stay on 91.
But you're missing out, man.
That's going to be
missing out.
That'll be your best bet. That'll be your best bet. But to spectate, if you live on the routes, we run through Hartford, we run into West Hartford, we run into East Hartford and South Windsor, so 4 different communities. Check out the race routes on our site, but we have spectator tips if you want to watch in different areas. My big tidbit, if anyone's listening that does want to spectate, is Mortensen Riverfront Plaza in downtown Hartford.
Ooh, okay.
Is the number one spot to watch the races, and it's just a beautiful setting along the river.
Talking to Josh Miller. Now you're the director, right?
I am. Yep.
Okay, so the director of the Hartford Marathon. What if you are a spectator? Some people like giving people water or food and stuff like that. Is there anything you shouldn't be giving runners while they're running by you?
Many things. And we'll talk about the road race here in a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're there to cheer for them. That's what you really want to do.
So don't be throwing protein bars at them.
You can do that if you want to have some fun. We have water stations out there for the runners every couple miles, staffed by volunteers. But if you want to be a part of it in a spectator role, just encourage these folks. Make some signs that give them a good smile, give them a good laugh, and just ring a cowbell, cheer for them for 20 minutes. It means a lot. It really does.
I bring up the Hartford Road Race, and the reason it's my favorite is because the whole entire community of Manchester gets behind this, and it's on Thanksgiving Day. It's one of the biggest days. I'd say the biggest day in Manchester, and it's been going on for years and years and years. And the thing about the town and the people is that you're probably going to see about 50 live bands in everybody's yard. Like if you have a band, have an instrument, get out in your yard and support the runners. But they will hand out stuff all over the place. Even some beer. You might even get handed some beer in the Manchester Road Race. I love that race. Plus, it's kind of a costume party. You just save your Halloween costume and you run in that. One of my faves, but another one of our faves that it's not been around for that long, and we're trying to get this as big as possible. Our friend Donnie Marshall putting one together in Simsbury. November 2nd is the Run Walk Donnie's Dash, and also a fitness walk as well, a 5K and a mile fitness walk. Tell us more about Donnie's Dash, and we need to get more people out at this one.
Yeah, I agree. So, November 2nd, we produce the event. The Hartford Marathon Foundation produces it in conjunction with the Boys and Girls Club of Hartford. The funds that are raised go there, but it's a great event, great venue in Simsbury at the Performing Arts Center. Like you said, a 5K, a 1.5-mile walk, a kids' fun run, tons of festivities and activities as well. And just in a couple weeks, great day to kick off fall and just get moving, just get active. That's our mission as an organization, is we want people healthy and fit, and just put one foot in front of the other, and that's a great event in early November.
Going back to the marathon, this is a week-long event, though. You've got all kinds of things going on at the XL, the Expo and stuff like that. You've got all kinds of nights out and things like that. So probably there's probably a lot of people that are filling up hotels and stuff like that. So this is probably a great event for the community.
It absolutely is. Yeah, last year's economic impact was well over $10 million just for this event.
Beautiful.
Hotel rooms sold out, restaurants filling up. That's our goal. We have people both locally, of course, but we have people regionally as well coming into the capital city into the greater Hartford area, shopping, eating, all of those things, and we try and make a week out of it. So,
fantastic.
Exactly.
Bushnell Park will become a runner's mecca on this weekend. You guys take over the entire park. The finish line is through the arch. Guy who crossed the finish line first last year is a guy you mentioned earlier, Alex Nordstrom. He won't come on our show basically because he doesn't own a phone or social media. There's no way to contact this guy.
He's already out running.
I'm probably outrunning somewhere. I just want Dibs to meet him because he would have fit right in with the 1989 minor league teams that he was on with that beautiful mullet he runs with, the huge goatee. This guy's such a character, and he's not the only one. There are runners out there who are becoming stars in the world of running, and they're going to be featured at the Hartford Marathon.
Yeah, so we try and celebrate. We have a program called New England's Finest. So the idea of it is the folks that are keeping that dream alive, but they might have a small family. They're working the part-time job, trying to keep that semi-professional running dream alive. Alex being one of those people, but a group of about 50 that we bring out. We don't bring in the national and the international attention intentionally. We want our backyard, our New England region, and celebrate these folks that are keeping that dream going.
So we're talking to Josh Miller. He is the director of the Hartford Marathon. Not everybody's going to finish this in 2 hours. And like you said, you got 1,500 plus volunteers. What's like the last group of people that I'd probably be in, maybe even worse? How long does it take some people to do the marathon? I'm sure some people are going to walk the marathon. Some people that, are going to be, different ways trying to finish this marathon.
Yeah, so 6 hours is our course limit. So we start at 8 o'clock. That's 2 p.m.
That's when you start breaking stuff down. You're like, okay, if you're not here by 6 hours.
Exactly. That's when the road's open. We can only keep the roads closed for so long. But I personally and some other volunteers are there at the finish line until that last person crosses. There's an ice cold beverage for them when they get across the line. And of course, that finisher medal, which means so much.
It's such a party. You want to be a part of this. Again, Saturday next week, the 19th, as you say, 9 days out. We're on the 25th mile right now, about ready to gear up for all the festivities that are going on in Bushnell Park. But for people that, you're right. Like, this is a lot of people's dream. They want to put that 26.2 sticker on the back of their car to show the accomplishment. We talked to all the doctors at Hartford Healthcare as well, UConn Health, just to explain what these runners have to do training-wise. I'm the guy that shows up at the 5K without running in a month or two, and it's always a bad idea. Now, that's not what you're supposed to do. Give people tips on what you need to do to start that journey to accomplish a 26.2 marathon.
I mean, number one is put one foot in front of the other. I mean, we said that before, and I truly mean it, and we believe that. It's just get out, go walk, go run. Start building up slowly.
Maybe start with a 5K.
Maybe start with a 5K, definitely.
Then a half marathon.
We have the great fortune that we're kind of the carrot at the end of the stick. We're the big event right. you look forward to. There's great local groups in all of our communities that will help you train and get you where you need to be so we can see you at the finish line.
HartfordMarathon.com, the website. You can still register, right? We can still get in for less than the 26.2 if you haven't qualified already. But I've learned that's where I go to find out the next run because you guys got a great calendar and you put that out in a mailer too. But HartfordMarathon.com is kind of the one-stop shop for everything that you guys do.
Absolutely, yeah. We have about 30 events a year. This is our largest. After this, we have Donnie's Dash. We have other ones this fall into the winter. And would love to see anybody out there.
I got a running question. Now, usually you stagger this with the fastest people in front and the slower people in back, right? To maintain the herd, basically. Now, the question is, does my clock start when I start crossing that finish line and I start the track, or is it when you guys say go? Because I feel like I'm in the back and I'm getting screwed over a couple of minutes, Dibs. I feel like my 5Ks are 2 minutes faster than they actually are because I'm not doing that right.
So it depends on the race. For our biggest events like this, it starts when you cross that starting line.
But the 5Ks that I've been in,
well, yeah,
5K's different.
For some of those smaller ones, you're getting the short end of the stick there.
So I gotta get to the front.
Yeah,
I gotta get to the front.
You get when they say go on the 5K. They start the clock.
All right, Donnie's Dash. I'm shaving 500
volunteers on those 5Ks.
I'm too nice too. I'm like, oh no, go ahead. You get in front of me. Go ahead. And I'm wasting time.
Josh, thank you so much for coming in, man.
This is great. Thank you.
Good
luck.
Josh.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Adam Giardino, UConn Sports Network, will join us next. No UConn football this weekend. No problem. There's probably 15 other events going on at UConn. We'll be right back.